You're more likely to be killed by a licensed NRA gun nut than by a terrorist. More Americans are killed by gun nuts than by terrorists. You're more likely to be killed by a so-called law-abiding licensed gun owner than you are to be murdered by someone breaking into your house. There are about 500 murders a year in Detroit, but those are not people they're not people who are murdered by burglars. Those are mostly drug dealers killing each other. More law-abiding citizens are killed by licensed gun owners. I was robbed at gunpoint by two crackheads with a gun. I did not fear for my life because I know they only wanted my money. 3 times in my life, I was almost killed by a licensed, law-abiding gun owner, and I really did fear that they will kill me, or they would have killed me. A lawyer says if you fear these gun nuts will kill you, you have a right to kill them first in self-defense. I believe in all 3 cases, I could have killed these law-abiding gun nuts and not spent a day in jail because it was self-defense. The first time, I was only 16 years old. Me and my friends were out partying, and we stopped at my brother's house at 3 o'clock in the morning because we were in the area. It just so happens that my brother is a gun nut. My friends were high and they were drinking, and they made all kinds of noise that woke my brother up. My brother came to the door with his gun cocked and loaded, ready to kill us all. My brother claims he's an NRA member, and anyone that comes to his door at 3 o'clock in the morning deserves to be shot without a trial, without a jury, and without a judge. He pays his NRA dues, and if he did kill us, the NRA will send their lawyers to get him off, claiming it was self-defense to shoot some teenagers who happen to be family members and friends. All we were doing is knocking on his door at 3 o'clock in the morning because we were in the area. When he came to the door with his gun cocked and loaded, our constitutional rights gave us the authority to shoot him in self-defense. But luckily, we were not gun nuts like he was, so my brother's life was spared. The second time I was almost killed by an NRA gun nut was back in 1977. Me and my friends were out partying because, it was my partying years. We used to drive out to the country north of Detroit on the dirt roads by the old cemeteries to scare each other. We used to call them the tombs. One night we were driving kind of fast and hit some gravel on a hairpin turn and hit a tree. There was no houses around for a half a mile. Two of my friends were injured and in need of an ambulance. We went to the first house we came to ask them to call the police. That house was the house of a gun nut who did not believe in the police. He was brainwashed by the NRA that the government would come to his house at 3 o'clock in the morning and take his guns, and he thought we were government agents. He believed the government was coming to take his guns, and he was part of the Michigan militia. He thought it was some kind of plot. He refused to believe that we were in a car accident. Instead of calling the police, he sent out an all-points bulletin to the Michigan militia. Hundreds of rednecks with pickup trucks and guns came to the country roads where we were at to see what me and my 3 friends were up to. Finally, one of them had enough sense to call the police because they believed we were in a car accident after we showed them the tree and the car. But I fear for my life, along with all those gun-toting rednecks who thought we were Chinese people invading America, or FBI agents going out there to take their guns away from them. But if we were gun-toting nuts like them, we could have shot all of them and claimed self-defense, as our Constitution gives us the right to kill people in self-defense if we fear for our lives. And every one of us was afraid of these fucking gun nuts. Every one of us. Because they didn't believe we were in a car accident. And they all had guns. I've had guns pulled on me many times, but I'm not sure how many of these were so-called law-abiding, licensed NRA gun nuts. But this case, I was sure they were. I'm lying in bed one day at 3 o'clock in the morning, and somebody walks in my house. So I get up to see who it is, and luckily I'm not a gun nut, or I could have shot this person who mistakenly walked into my house. I was not afraid that this person would kill me. I just assumed they had the wrong house, until I found out that they were an NRA gun nut. This person thought that my house was their house. When they seen me in it, they thought I was in their house, and they claimed if they had their gun on them, they would have shot me. All these trailers look the same from the outside and on the inside. I had to point out that the TV, the stereo, and the couch that's in my house is not the same as the TV, stereo, and couch in their house. And so they realized they were in the wrong house. But you can be killed by a drunken NRA gun nut who mistakenly comes into your house thinking that it's his house and then shoots you because he thinks you're in his house, when in fact it is he who is in the wrong house. Furthermore, they believe that because they pay their NRA dues, that if they do come into your house and shoot you because they thought it was their house and they thought you were trespassing, they really believe that the NRA will send their high-priced lawyers to defend them by claiming it was all self-defense. This is 3 close calls where I was almost killed by a so-called licensed, law-abiding NRA member, and I'm sure there's many thousands of other close calls. What I really wonder is how many licensed NRA members have actually killed people, and the lawyers for the NRA got them off by claiming it was self-defense, and that their NRA members are all law-abiding citizens. The NRA has so much money, I guess we will never know. Although they believe in free speech, what they really believe in is hiding the truth and covering up facts and evidence.